Well, when we speak of the car in question, because it is not one, not two, but apparently four of them. Now a hunt is on for a Brezza car, where the Delhi police and the securities are on the hunt for a car, a Brezza car. Sources said that there was a plot to detonate the car bomb, and this plot, meanwhile, has been thwarted by the agencies. Now, this seems to be, as far as when it comes to this module that is now being said, the tactics that has been used by these terrorists, carrying huge amounts of explosives in their car. Nearly 80 kgs was there, what is being ascertained in that I-20, which exploded near the Red Fort. But what is being said that the other cars as well, either they were used to transport explosives, Priyank, as the Brezza role is also now coming across saying that there was a plot to detonate the car bomb.
Yes, that is quite possibility, because so far this is what we have been talking, Amita, that the money which was gathered by these individuals was spent in buying multiple vehicles. First was the I-20 car which was used in this explosion. The second one was the vehicle which was recovered from the possession of Muzammil, although it was registered in the name of Shaina. The third vehicle was the Eco Sport car which was recovered yesterday, and the fourth vehicle is the Brezza for which the hunts are on.
All right. Well, there are multiple cars that we are looking at in question where all of this, Priyank, is this the modus operandi that we are looking at? What is being said that it may have been a premeditated attack and, an unprepared bomb that may have gone off. Where Dr. Omar Nabi was driving near the Red Fort. But was this the plot in a way to carry out these terror activities, these explosions in a car in a busy market area?
Quite high possibility, Amita, because why the agencies have come to this conclusion that this attack was not planned by Umar, because he was walking from an area which is already crowded. If he could have managed to take this explosive near the Connaught Place area, he could have done that explosion there itself. Why he chose to opt for this place where the vehicle was already moving, and in the footage also you can clearly see that it is difficult to establish that whether Umar got down from the vehicle or not. So since he was roving around in the national capital with this explosive laden vehicle, he was not prepared. Secondly, there was no shrapnel which was found from the bodies of the deceased after the postmortem findings have come out, which clearly means that the explosive was not certainly prepared. There are two theories which officials have been pointing out, that whether there was some kind of leakage in the CNG cylinder which was installed in the vehicle, because if you look at the kind of expert individuals have been telling to me in person, who are prone to get information and have been a part of the BDS team, they say that if the CNG is leaking, or if someone deliberately opens the leakage of the gas cylinder, and there are explosive like ammonium nitrate, if one individual just lights a cigarette, and then the vehicle can certainly burst, and this could have happened. So that is a possibility, but we are refraining to go to any kind of possibility because this is a very serious investigation. But the sources have been suggesting that there could be a leakage in the CNG, knowing the fact that there was ammonium nitrate and explosive kind of material which was already there in the vehicle, and then someone could have lit the cigarette, the circuit formed, and the explosion happened.
But by that, if it makes sense, then the explosion could have happened anywhere. Wherever, when this car was driving around, we have seen, as far as when it comes to popular hotspots and even, even more crowded areas like Connaught Place is concerned, all of them very close to the vicinity, as we call the central Delhi. And this is a high security zone that we are looking at. But if that was one of the possibilities that it may have happened, then the explosion may have happened on any area or any spot where Dr. Omar Nabi was driving his car at very popular and crowded locations as well. But as we map the route, we also talk about when it comes to the escape trail, because Dr. Nabi was the one who escaped the security agencies. He was on the run. He picked up that I-20 from the Al Falah University, and thereafter from the Badarpur border entered the national capital, and he was driving half of the national capital as far as when it comes to, he's been spotted at multiple locations through the CCTV footages that are now being scanned and analyzed. So we take a look as far as right from Faridabad, Mewat region to Firozpur, Jhikra. We are looking at all of these locations that he seems seems to have moved into from the Haryana-Delhi belt. Faridabad, Mewat region, Firozpur, Jikra, then Delhi-Mumbai expressway. What is being said that he spent the night at a dhaba, slept in the car. Faridabad, then re-entry that has happened. All of this happened when he was on the run. Then Delhi entering via the Badarpur toll, and thereafter visited more than 50 locations across the national capital. That also included, when it comes to CP, other locations that are being said is Mayur Vihar as well. And we're looking at Lal Killa metro station. He visited the Sunehri Masjid also in central Delhi, where there have been CCTV footages identifying him coming out of the masjid. And thereafter, the blast site, where you can see very close to the metro station, gate number 1 of Lal Killa metro station, is where he takes out the car. Close to 6:52 is when the explosion happens. He dies in that very explosion, and as far as the DNA confirmation report suggests, that it has matched with the remains of the body that was found in the car, the I-20 car that exploded near the Red Fort. But tracking the Fedayeen's terror footprint, the route to Red Fort, exclusive details that now we are tracking in the last 11 hours that has now been traced, and he drove around half of Delhi. As far as the scoop that we are picking up, because this is now the CCTV footages are piecing the the picture together, giving us clarity on what would have been the terrorist route exactly when it comes to thinking of that final destination that he wants to park his car near Red Fort. Did he wanted to park his car there? Because it is being said that nearly he waited for 3 hours before he moved out of the parking lot. There at the red light, there was another, as far as when it comes to CCTV footage, that he could be spotted, although wearing a mask, in a bid to escape identification, perhaps, Priyank. But this is how the pieces now coming together. The same car, the same man. It is being said that there were no other occupants in the car, but there were a lot of explosives in that car.
Yes, Amita, that's what we are bringing for viewers, that the sequence of the incident and how the chain has been established by the agencies by piecing together all these CCTV footage, which is an electronic evidence in this particular case, which shows the movement of Umar towards this particular location where this blast had happened. The fact of the matter is that these CCTV are certainly establishing the chain of event. But initially there was information that there could be more people who could have been there along with Umar. But that cannot be established on the basis of this particular CCTV footage. Because we have been talking to the doctors who have been conducting the post-mortem. There were 21 samples which were sent to the forensic lab of the bodies which were recovered from this location. 9 individuals were already identified, and later to that what we got to know that the DNA sample has only matched with Umar, who was the key bomber in this particular case. Now, who are the other individuals who were the one to whom Umar met? He had gone to the mosque also, right behind us, and his movement was tracked in and around in this area for approximately 3.5 hours. By the Delhi police official, which has also been assisting the National Investigation Agency. The probe was initially in the hands of the Delhi police.
As far as all of the CCTV footages are being scanned, there could be more images, more footage of Umar Nabi, as he was around 3 hours on the road itself while he was trying finally to reach the location that was at Red Fort in the national capital. But speaking of the diaries that have now been recovered, we'll speak on that particular angle as well, because here the security agencies are believed to have recovered the diaries of Dr. Umar and Dr. Muzammil, who is now in custody, which are likely to provide answers to multiple questions about Delhi bombings. Now, these diaries, according to sources we are learning, were recovered on Tuesday and Wednesday from Dr. Umar's room number 4 and Dr. Muzammil's room number 13. Within the same Al Falah University campus in Faridabad. Now, what is being said that there were code words apparently that was used in those recovered diaries and notebooks, which also makes a references to the dates 8th of November and 12th of November. Maybe they wanted to carry out their attacks on these particular dates, and the word operation seems to have also surfaced, as seems to be scribbled across several pages in these diaries. Now, sources believe that these diaries contain about names of 25 individuals, most of them said to be hailing from Jammu and Kashmir and also from Faridabad. So let's take a look as far as building number 17 in the Al Falah University campus in Faridabad. There were the 2 rooms that were being used. Room number 4 of Dr. Umar Nabi, room number 13 of Dr. Muzammil Shakil, and when it comes to the recoveries that have been made from the rooms because they also used to be the meeting points where all of these Jaish-e-Mohammed supporters, the Fedayins, used to come together and plot their terror conspiracy. So what has been recovered from their rooms as far as from these diaries? There is a word called operation that surfaces many times. It has been scribbled on those diaries. There are dates like 8th of November and 12th of November that has also been scribbled. What is being said that there has been code language that has been used by these terrorists when it comes to writing down in those diaries that terror plots is now concerned, and 8th of November and 12th of November seems to be the key dates that has now been identified, and the agencies are now trying to make sense of what all has been recovered. What is being said that when it comes to the terror conspiracy rooms that have now been sealed after finding all of that incriminating documents, diaries and notebooks that have now been seized and has been taken into custody for further encryption. But we'll get you more on that, more and more breaking updates coming in.